I suppose the biggest challenge growing up in the 50s and 60s was just total closetedness. I knew I was gay when I was 8 years old, and I came out 20 years later when I was about 28 years old. But that actually had advantages, because back then in the 60s, in senior school, we believed two things. One, that every boy went through this homosexual phase in kind of puberty, and the other was that these queers, I mean, the word gay wasn't invented then for homosexuals, that these queers were dirty old men that hung around in shop doorways, you know, with raincoats on, and we weren't old men that hung around in shop doorways. So I actually had quite a nice a puberty in my middle teens, playing with other boys willy-nilly, if you can forgive the pun. So it didn't really bother me at all, actually, while I was at school. But it was when I left school and then thought, I've gone through puberty, I therefore must be straight, and God is taking, you know, rather a long time. That's when sort of the problem started, and I've kind of forced myself to have girlfriends and then eventually have sexual relationships with women. And it was only in my late 20s that I realised I'd been, you know, trying to fool myself all these years, and came out of the old closet. And I mean, I was 17 before the law changed in 1967 to allow men to have sex with each other. But I wasn't aware of that. I mean, we were talking earlier, and Ellis is very, very aware of the law and politics and issues, and I wasn't, we weren't. You know, I had no idea that I could have gone to prison for 2 years.
I think social media has played a huge role in where we've come from, particularly in the last few years. With apps like TikTok, where people are being more honest and people are openly coming out and discussing modern day topics. I think with time that can only make things a lot better and make things more openly spoken about. So that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see it more people openly discussing topics like gay sex education, or equal rights within schools, or how to keep yourself sexually and physically fit as a gay man, and what a healthy relationship should look like. There are negatives to social media as well as the positives, but it most definitely did help with the process of coming out. It taught me a lot about myself and other people's experiences, but then also gives you that pressure of, do I have to label myself? What if I'm not entirely sure how I'm feeling or how I want to feel? So yeah, I most definitely think it's got its benefits, but it's also had its great downfalls.